where I must go. From the shore aboard of the kayak, I will chase the fish. I will give you advice on your boat and your gear. Sea hog boats are my passion and pride. With history and tips, I will be your guide. My samurai really does fly with the big 90s might. Fishing the northwest of my day or by night.
Right, well here we have it, the start of our switch panel that we're going to make. So we got our piece of carbon fibre look plastic. It's about 3mm thick. Now I've decided I wanted 9 switches, and I want 3 bigger. I've got a USB, a double USB there. That's a cigarette lighter or power supply. I've also got a little voltmeter. So I've spaced them out. Got 3 at the top. They were a 30mm hole, I think they were. I ended up cutting 32 because that's all I had. And these were 12.5. Now the little switches I've got are these with a little light on. So on these you've got negative, positive, and the centre one is your load. I think that's what it says on the back one. There can be different ways around, but generally it's negative one side, positive the other, and your load's in the middle. And then you only need the negative on this switch just to light up that little blue light there. Otherwise it would just be a switch and you wouldn't need a negative. So if you want a light, you're gonna have to run a negative. Now I do not ever normally put 2 cables into one crimp, but when it comes to just that little negative there, I will bounce one around and double them up. So here's my piece of plastic. I think this was about £3. These switches, I had them on a little black panel. They were about, I think it was a tenner for all 3 of them in a little black panel. And these switches are about 75p each. I've got blue ones and I've got a few red ones because I just want to do a different colour down the middle. I've got a couple of different types of blue ones actually, so I've got to make sure that I've got the correct ones and not the funny ones. Right, they're different. So I've got 6 and 3 red. So you have the voltmeter in the middle. Now, one of the switches I will dedicate just to turning these on and off, otherwise your voltmeter stays live constantly. So that's cigarette lighter. I'll just do them up loose for the time being. Obviously that one's that long because it takes the cigarette lighter. And then this is the double USB. That's also got a little light on it as well. So all those are going to be run off one switch. So I'll have like a power on to the panel, and then I'll have 8 more to do what I want with. Like I say, I'll straighten them all up and I'll tidy them all up. But I'll quickly put these in. Now these switches, if you follow the way the word goes, it has the light at the top. Now that doesn't sit right with me, even though you press the light to on. I don't like it, so I'm going to have it that way around. And my centre set of switches are going to be red. I was going to order it. You can get these in red green, clear, all sorts. But I just thought I'd have the centre 3 as red. Don't know why, just something different. You either see these panels in all green, all red, all blue. So I thought, sod it, I'll get some a different colour. What we got there? See, I find these switches a lot easier than this type. There's another type you get, but you have to. It's just a push button. That one. That one, actually, it's damaged. They're a square hole. These are a lot simple. You just literally drill a 12.5mm hole, 1/2 inch, and they slip through. So, building up nicely now. Now, I was going to do this in a piece of stainless, but I actually had this piece of plastic, and I've got some carbon fibre look sticker underneath. My fish finder. So I thought, sod it, let's have this. Now, these are all quality switches, so I know they're going to be right. What I also don't like when you buy a switch panel, you've got all these fuses hanging off the back. Now, I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm going to wire this to a separate fuse panel, so we don't have any fuses hanging off the back. So it'll be a lot neater to look at. Excuse me, butterfingers. I do actually wear glasses, but I haven't got them on. So that's all 12 in. Now you can make this, if you're making it yourself, you can make it as big as you want. Now, as I say, I'm going to use one of these switches, probably one of the red ones, for the panel. So when I switch that one on, it'll power these 3, and the rest of them can do my electronics, bilge pump, nav lights, anchor light, got some spotlights, I've also got some deck lights, and what else I can think of. That I've got a radio, so that'll probably power my radio. I know I'd come up with the right number for some reason. I've done it this size as well because that's generally where it just sort of fits where my old one fits, so that's why it's going to go that way. So there you go, that's my panel. What I'm going to do now is wire up a bounce round neutral or negative. I'm going to keep calling it neutral because I am an electrician, so I keep telling people. It's always a neutral, but negative, whatever you mean. The blue cable, the black cable, whichever, ground, earth, whatever you want to call it in the 12-volt system. But I like to call it positive and negative, positive and neutral, live and neutral, whatever, you know what I mean. So there we go. Next step, let's make some a bounce round neutral. Here I'm making the neutral link on the back of the switch panel. As you can see, I've got the feed in, and then as I've got 9 switches, I'm going to bounce it around, covered them with a little bit of sleeving just to protect them and keep any metal bits from any other of the crimps. So I'm doing each one at length. You have to forgive these snips, or a pair of old ones. So I don't normally put 2 cables into 1 crimp, but this neutral only actually does the little light on the switch, so it doesn't really matter. It's nothing needed. So because they haven't got insulated spade grips, spade crimps. Now, always use the ratchet ones. These are double crimped ratchets, so nice and powerful. Now, obviously, if that touches alive, it'll spark, so hence I just get a little bit of neutral sleeve in and cover it over. Can get heat shrinking and shrink it down to make it all tight and everything, but it's well crimped in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just need another 3. Get these spade crimps off eBay, Amazon, anywhere you want, RS online. These are quite cheap. A couple of quid for 100. Alright, so that one bounces across all around the switches. That one goes back to me switch panel. Now, I happen to know that I don't want to mount it too much, so that's your neutral link done. Straightforward. Like I say, you can, this is just sleeving. You can get heat shrink and then you could melt it. And to be perfectly honest, I thought I had picked up heat shrink, but it's not. It's just sleeving. So, but there's my neutral link. So that'll go around all the switches, which